surpassed Africa and Europe. The Penzance claimed that they themselves had intended to make this voyage, and that Columbus, despondent at the king's failure to finance this project, had taken heart after learning of this document. Witnesses were found to confirm the testimony. End quote. This next article comes from Leo Weiner's book, Africa and the Discovery of America. It shows how when Columbus wanted to address the kings of the West Indies, he sent interpreters who spoke Hebrew, Arabic, and Chaldean because they were Moors. Also notice the mention of Cipango, which was mentioned in the Vatican document as Cipanzo. This shows that the previous Vatican document was in the possession of Columbus, thus he was not really lost. Perhaps he called the people Indians because at that time India was called Eastern Ethiopia, and the Queen of Sheba, Hatshepsut, was an Ethiopian Egyptian queen. The article says, quote, on November 2nd, Columbus decided to send Rodrigo de Xeres and Luis de Torres, who had lived with the Adelantado of Murcia and was a Jew and knew Hebrew and Chaldaic and some Arabic, to see the king of Cuba in order to present the letters and to find out all that was necessary. Naturally, a man who knew Arabic and another who knew the language of Guinea, as we heard before, were especially adapted to hold converse with the kings of the Indies. End quote. This last article was taken from a book called The Negro Trailblazers. This article blew my mind, especially the mention of the Queen of California entering into crusade wars. It says, quote, know ye that on the right hand of the Indies there is an island called California, very near the terrestrial paradise, which is peopled with black women without any men among them, because they were accustomed to live after the fashion of the Amazons. They were of strong and hardy bodies, and of ardent courage and of great force. The island was the strongest in the world from its steep rocks and great cliffs. Their arms were all of gold, and so were the caparisons of the wild beasts which they rode after having tamed them, for in all the island there is no other metal but gold. They lived in caves, very well worked out of the rocks with much labor. They had many ships in which they sailed to other climes to carry on their forage to obtain booty. The various Christian knights assembled to defend the emperor of the Greeks in the city of Constantinople against the attacks of the Turks and the infidels. And on this occasion, the Queen of California and her court entered this war. End quote. Now back to Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon is a man that every Moor must know about. He was the guiding spirit behind the whole colonization scheme as seen on this Newfoundland stamp. This man, Francis Bacon, is also the founder of the speculative Freemasonic Lodge system. Francis Bacon was the head of a secret society who used the name William Shakespeare as a pen name to put out certain information and at the same time remain anonymous. This secret society headed by Bacon was none other than that of the Rosicrucians, and Francis Bacon is none other than Christian Rosencreutz, the founder of the Rosicrucians. It was this group that put together the Freemasonic Lodge system we see today. Francis Bacon was taught by the Moors and studied Moorish science. The reason for their secrecy is that they were secretly fighting against the Catholic Church, which was persecuting through the Inquisition the Moors and anyone who studied or practiced Moorish science, which was based on the code of mathematics going from 0 to 9, the science of zodiac and geometry, all employed using scientific method. This science was also called Kabbalah in Europe during this time. This picture from the book Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids by Peter Tompkins says in the caption, quote, "Designed for detection and punishment of heretics, the Inquisition was used as a giant pork barrel for the..." This picture from the book Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids by Peter Tompkins says in the caption, quote, "Designed for detection and punishment of heretics, the Inquisition was used as a giant pork barrel for the enrichment of crown, church, and inquisitors, while cheerfully eliminating dangerous radicals, that is, those who have been taught medicine, geography, rhetoric, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and astronomy by Moorish philosophers in universities such as Cordova, whose libraries have since been destroyed and put into the secret archives of the Vatican. The Inquisition was also an excuse to rid the planet of such organized mystics as Illuminati, pantheists, Manichaeans, and Albigensians. With regards to the picture here, it says, quote, "As a deterrent to possible opposition in New Spain, 34 Negroes, including 4 women, were hanged and decapitated in Mexico City." It is said that Sir Francis Bacon, alias Sir Christian Rosencreutz, traveled to Egypt, Arabia, Fez, Morocco, and Spain to study the Moorish science, and it was then that he received a plan and agenda for a new world order. This seems very similar to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who traveled to the same places and then came back here with a mandate to uplift fallen humanity and usher in the new world order, in which we would be restored back to our inheritance. Francis Bacon and his secret society, the Rosicrucians, whose stated goal was a reformation of the whole wide world, then set up the speculative Masonic Lodge system. This was secretly revealed in his last published book called, quote, "The New Atlantis." The New Atlantis was to be America, and the said island in the book where everything took place was called Ben Salam, meaning son of peace. And he was the guiding spirit behind his colonization. The speculative Masonic Lodge he and his associates set up is secretly called Solomon's House and College of the 6 Days Work in the book New Atlantis. Solomon's House, of course, refers to King Solomon's temple, which the Masons say that they are striving to rebuild. Hiram Abiff, the central figure in the Masonic mythos, was said to be Solomon's chief architect and was a Canaanite Phoenician, who were the ancient Moors. Sir Francis Bacon was keeper of the Great Seal during the time of King James I, and he was commissioned by King James to supervise the translation of the King James Version of the Bible. This is why in Masonry you will always see an altar with the Bible and the compass and square placed on it. These are called the 3 lights of Masonry. Francis Bacon and his secret society secretly signed their pen name Shakespeare in the King James Version of the Bible in Psalm 46. If you count 46 words down, you see the word shake, and if you count 46 words up, you see the word spear. America, which was the seat of ancient Atlantis, was chosen by the Ascended Masters to be the seat of the New Atlantis. This New Atlantis is the New Jerusalem in the book of Revelations. You will notice that the New Jerusalem mentioned in the book of Revelations is based on the number 12. This number is the key to the Bible and comes from the 12 signs of the zodiac. Astrologics is the key to Moorish civilization. The 12 tribes of Israel is the 12 signs of the zodiac. Is or Isis is the moon, Ra is the sun, and ill as the stars.